Digital Extremes did a little update to their game, and in general they have buffed the new Incarnon weapons purchasable with Platinum, and then nerfed Styanax's Intrepid stand augment. We all saw this coming, as having an infinite amount of overguard is absurd, and it's putting to shame Kulevur, which is the very first Warframe to have the overguard feature. Just imagine having 1 million or even more overguard with Styanax, and then Kulevur has a cap and can't exceed even 100,000 of overguard. It's unfair to the Warframe and made Styanax broken. What the developer did is give the Intrepid stand augment an overguard cap, and now you can only gain as much as 15,000 extra hit points at base level. However, this can still scale with power strength mods, and honestly, I don't even consider it as nerf, as even with the base values, the overguard mechanic is still helpful with Styanax. First of all, the Warframe has shield regeneration per kill with his third ability. You can easily pros this since his ultimate ability has high slash damage, and you can melt even steel path enemies in seconds. This is a primary source of Styanax survivability in the past, paired with a shield gating mechanic once the shield runs out. This was already enough in the past, and I pair it with damage reduction while airborne mods to offer more survivability to the Warframe. However, the Intrepid stand augment changes it all. Now, you might think that overguard is a lackluster survival method for a Warframe, but you should reconsider these thoughts when using this with Styanax. Overguard that provide full status immunity when active. This means you are immune to any status effects from those Eximus units, including the pesky knockdown mechanic. Also, this is very handy when it comes to dealing with acolytes specifically, its malice and violence. The Frost Acolyte called Malice has this ability to cast Meg's Bubble, and every projectile you throw will redirect to you and damage your Warframe instead. Overguard will be another layer of survivability so you don't accidentally kill yourself with your weapons or ability. Then, it's also a way to somehow stay alive until when violence casts silence on you. The ability is annoying as you can't cast any skills, and Overguard helps you survive if you got silenced by the Acolyte until you kill it. For some though, the augment is already a nerf to Styanax, especially if you are using the Nourish setup. Grendel's ability doesn't only provide insane energy regeneration when paired with Styanax's third ability, but it allows the Warframe to do more damage with his ultimate ability. Remember that Viral does provide more damage to health, hence making the Warframe's slash damage insane. If you have Overguard though, you can't pros the Viral of Nourish, and even using the combat discipline Aura mod won't work anymore. Nourish will only provide energy regeneration to the Warframe, and you can't increase your damage with Viral. On a side note, you can always use a primer gun though to pros Viral to the enemies before casting your fourth ability. Which is why I don't consider the new augment for Styanax as a nerf at all. It's the best thing that ever happened to the Warframe, and I just remembered Baruch in its early stage. The Monk Warframe doesn't have much to offer until Digital Extremes decided to give his fourth ability an augment that changes everything. It fixes the offense of Baruch, and he is now one of the toughest and strongest Warframe to go up against steel path levels. The same can be said with Styanax. With the Intrepid stand augment, the Warframe now has boosted survivability, which was the only thing missing on this Warframe to be perfect. In terms of build, you can step away from any survivability mods, except for adaptation. The way this mod works with Overguard is kind of weird but simply outstanding for Styanax. Adaptation mode doesn't provide damage mitigation to certain damage types with the Overguard mechanic. Instead, the damage mitigation procs in Overguard and becomes handy when it depletes, adding that 90% damage resistance to a certain damage in your shield. So basically, with adaptation in your build, you add another layer of survivability for Styanax. You now have Overguard, then you have damage mitigation in shields, plus the shield gating mechanic, and lastly, don't ever forget that Overguard also has an invulnerability gating mechanic right now. Functionally, this allows Styanax and nearby allies with shields to potentially have 1.8 seconds of protection before health is damaged. The best part about this is that you only need to pump up the power, strength, and duration with an Intrepid stand build for this Warframe, since range won't be an issue also. If you want Styanax to provide Overguard to allies, then don't worry about not having any range mods in your build. Do remember that Intrepid stand augment gives Overguard to allies within affinity range. That's 50 meters range without any range mods, and I think that's enough to keep your allies alive with your Overguard. However, I don't think tanky Warframes that rely on Rage or Hunter Adrenaline mod to regenerate their energy will be happy to get that Overguard from you. While it's a good safety tool, Overguard doesn't allow to regenerate energy while it's active, while using any energy return mods after your health is damaged. Just be careful with this augment though, as some players might start screaming not to spam your fourth ability. Overall, Styanax is still in a good spot right now, and I could say that he is still a room cleaner Warframe, perfect for Steel Path and beyond levels. While we don't have the luxury of giving critical chance bonus to the slash damage of his fourth ability, while using Arcane Avenger and Combat Discipline trick, or using the viral procs of Nourish, still, the Warframe has solid firepower, since the higher you pump up your power strength, the higher you pump up your power strength, the higher the overguard you get and the higher the slash damage your fourth ability gives. So basically this is still a press 4 to win Warframe that you will enjoy. So that's all about it. I hope that you have learned some important facts about Intrepid's stand Styanax after the Overguard cap nerf. Let me know your thoughts about Styanax right now in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.